Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow. I talk to people about this constantly because I spend quite a bit of time doing coaching, but the coaching is really in this kind of realm. Most of the people I deal with, they are top of their game in general, but the emotional side, the inner side, all that kind of stuff, that's a whole different animal. That's where we kind of work. Anyways, on this one, the reason I keep asking you is that there's another aspect to what kind of dysregulates us. And I don't know if it's this or if it isn't. And depends on what people believe or not. I don't know a better name for it other than like entities. We see entities a lot. So entity would be something that's not yours. So like if we look at it, we say like trauma. So trauma is not what happens to us. It's what happens in us as a result of what happened to us.
Right.
What happens to us is like traumatic, got a fucking crack. Boom. That's traumatic. But I heal from that. But what happens inside is, oh, now I'm scared. Now I'm afraid. Now I don't want to talk out. Now, I got to prove this to other people. So now that becomes the trauma. And until that's processed, meaning like there's an environment that those parts of me that are now holding all this confusion, pain, whatever it may be, can express themselves. It's there. It's stuck in time. The ways we can get this plenty different ways. One, from stuff happening. One, from stuff that should have happened. Somebody should have been there for me. Neglect is a big deal in that area, right? Could get it vicariously. You're walking down the street, someone just gets run over by a car. You're watching right there the whole time stuff. Now you got it, right? Like it's never happened to me. I didn't get run over, but oh my God, I'm right there, right? The other pieces are, it could be generational, where that baby comes right through the line, we don't know, or it happens in traits, because if you think about it, when you go, okay, this family, they are like alcoholics. But that's not really it. It's the trauma that runs through it, that's carried through it, and alcohol happens to be the numbing agent of choice, right? So the other piece here, which is kind of a big one, that is entity. Some other energy, whatever it might be, that comes in and just fucks with us. We feel like it's us or so on because we're so used to it. A lot of times it comes in during times where we're either afraid something happened or whatever. And I mean, even in like the Catholic Church, they have full manuals and stuff on this type of thing. Every indigenous culture, shamans are typically dealing with entities and so on. I mean, so that's why I keep asking, like, this feel like you, this you, and so on.
So you're
'Cause this
talking
might
about
not be you, dude.
Not quite demonic possession, but possession of entities.
Yep.
And if we want to call them demons, which I'm sure, you know what?
Possession is like when it kind of takes you over and you have no more control.
And right. Like,
but entities can just be there, kind of like making
they're
you
worse,
scared.
Man. They're like in the background. They're like parasites to make you feel
Exactly.
like you're in control.
It's exactly like a parasite. You're the host.
Right.
That's the parasite.
And the less you know they exist, the more they like it, because then they can live on you longer. And
because most people are not spending a lot of time internally trying to, being in touch with themselves so they know what's the difference of what's me and what's not me. So everything feels like me at that point.
Yeah, I'm open to that. Because a lot of people will be like, what are you talking about, ghosts and devils and shit? No,
I see it all the time.
No,
all the time.
You know what? I've always believed in that.
Yeah.
I've always believed that there are forces well outside of just our realm of consciousness, or whatever we call this thing that we are as people. I find it's impossible for there not to be something far outside of us, because I'm not really that impressed with us as we are. I mean, we can do impressive things, but when you take the grand scope, there has to be more.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.